All the questions based on NCERT textbook only. All the questions are based on NCERT textbook. So that's why get ready for answering based on the NCERT textbook. The particular questions are prepared. The first question. In unicellular organisms, all functions like digestion, respiration, and reproduction are performed by
Single cell.
very
Single cell.
single cell. Okay. Next, second question. In multicellular organisms, functions like digestion, respiration, reproduction are performed by dash in a well-organized manner.
Groups of
Group
cells.
of cells.
Yeah,
Groups of cells.
different group of cells. Different group of cells. Next, question number 3. The body of a simple organism like dash is made of different types of cells, and the number of cells in each type can be in thousands. Asking about a body of a simple organism who is made of different types of cells, and the number of cells in each type can be in thousands.
Hydra.
Hydra. Well, the human body is composed of billions of dash to perform various functions.
Cells.
Cells.
Cell. Okay, very good. Next, question number 5. In multicellular animals, a group of similar cells along with intercellular substances perform a specific function. Such an organization is called.
Tissue.
Tissue. Tissue.
Such an organization is called tissue. You may be surprised to know that all complex animal consist of only what basic type of tissues. That means how many basic types of tissues. You may be surprised to know that all complex animals consist of only how many types of basic type of tissues? Four.
Four.
Very good. Four.
Four.
Epithelial, connective, muscular, and nervous tissue. The 4 types of basic tissue. Question number 7. Excuse me. Dash are organized in specific proportion and pattern to form an organ like stomach, lung, heart, and kidney, who are getting organized in specific proportion and pattern.
Tissue.
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 Very good. Tissue. Next, when 2 or more organs perform a common function by their physical and or chemical interaction, they together form
Organ system.
organ.
Organ system.
Very good. Organ system. Okay. So, dash here we made 4 blanks here that dash split up the work in a way that exhibit division of labor, and contribute to the survival of the body as a whole. Who gets split up to work in a way that exhibit division of labor and contribute to the survival of the body as a whole. That means at what level will have the division of labor? At cell level or tissue level or organ level?
Organ.
Organ system.
Organ system. Organ.
All are
Organ system.
we have division of labor at cell level, tissue level, organ level, and organ system level. Okay, question number 10. The structure of the dash vary according to their function. Therefore, the tissues are different and broadly classified into 4 types. The structure of what vary according to their function. Okay, structure of cells. You should fill the blank with cells, then you will find the line. The structure of the cells vary according to their function. Therefore, the tissues are different and broadly classified into 4 types. What are the 4 types that we are asking? Epithelial tissue.
Connective muscular neural.
Yeah, connective tissue and muscular
Neural.
tissue and neural or nervous tissue, you can say. The neural tissue or nerval tissue. 4 types of tissue. So let me read the total line. The structure of the cells vary according to their function. Therefore, the tissues are different and broadly classified into 4 types: epithelial, connective, muscular, and neural tissue. We commonly refer to an epithelial tissue as
Epithelium.
epithelium, which we say it as epithelium. Okay, question number 12. On the basis of what the cells simple epithelium further divided into 3 types? On what basis we classified simple epithelium into 3 types?
Shape.
Okay, structural modification. Based on the structural modification, we classified the simple epithelium into 3 types. Okay. Next, the 3 types of simple epithelia are
Cuboidal, columnar, squamous.
simple squamous, simple cuboidal, and simple columnar. The 3 types of epithelial tissues are simple squamous, simple cuboidal, and simple columnar. Okay, plural form of epithelium. Epithelia.
Epithelia.
Yeah, we say it as epithelia, plural form of epithelium. Okay, there are 2 types of epithelial tissues, namely 2 types of epithelial tissue. Just you have to name them, that dash epithelium and dash epithelium. Epithelial tissue is classified into,
Simple and compound.
yeah, simple epithelium, which contain only single layer of cells above the basement membrane, and compound epithelium, more than 1, 2 or more layers are present here in case of compound epithelium. Simple epithelium and compound epithelium. Compound epithelium is also called stratified epithelium. Okay, question number 15. Then epithelium, which is composed of a single layer of cells and functions as a lining for body cavities, ducts, and tubes.
Simple epithelium.
Very good, very good. Simple epithelium. Epithelium, which is composed of a single layer of cells and functions as a lining for body cavities, ducts, and tubes. Next, question number 16. Epithelium with 2 or more cell layers.
Compound epithelium.
Compound epithelium.
Compound epithelium. Compound epithelium. Okay. Epithelium whose main function is to provide protection against chemical and mechanical stresses. Okay, we have a question here. Epithelium which functions as a lining for body cavities, ducts, and tubes. That we need to answer first of all. Who is that? Simple.
Simple epithelium.
Simple thing.
Yeah. So that we address simple epithelium as it functions as a lining for body cavities, ducts, and tubes. And epithelium whose main function is to provide protection against chemical and mechanical stresses, that we say
Compound.
compound epithelium.
Compound epithelium.
Okay, next. Question number 19. Epithelium which has protective function as it does in our skin.
Compound epithelium.
Compound epithelium.
Epithelium.
Okay, the epithelium of proximal convoluted tubule of nephron in the kidney has.
Simple squamous.
Simple squamous.
Excuse me. Okay, no. Just try to understand the question. We just made all the questions based on NCERT. Epithelium of proximal convoluted tubule of nephron in the kidney has. What it has? Is there any special in them?
Simple cuboidal.
Simple cuboid.
Oh, okay, no problem. It has microvilli. The epithelium of proximal convoluted tubule of nephron in the kidney has microvilli. Microvilli are present. Okay, it is made up of simple cuboidal, no matter. Okay, so that particular epithelium, simple cuboidal epithelium, no doubt about that, that is a simple cuboidal epithelium in the proximal convoluted tubule of nephron. But that epithelium on the free surface, it is having some the microvilli, that is to increase the area of absorption for water. That simple cuboidal epithelium is having microvilli. Okay, so that's what we are asking. Okay, next question. Then question number 21, if the columnar or cuboidal cells bear cilia on their free surface, they are called
Ciliate.
very
Epithelium.
good. Ciliated epithelium. They are
Later.
ciliated epithelium. Okay. Next, here the example based questions and characteristic based questions, like we made some headings. So first of all, we'll get identify the tissue as epithelial, connective, muscular, neural based on the given characteristic feature. We know the 4 types of tissues are present. That based on the given characteristic features, we need to identify them as that epithelial and muscular or connective or neural tissue. Then start the question. This tissue has a free surface which faces either a body fluid or the outside environment and thus provide a covering or a lining for some part of the body. Which tissue that is? We have 4 options.
Epithelial tissue.
Epithelial,
Epithelial tissue.
yeah, epithelial tissue. Okay, very good. All cells here are held together with a little intercellular material.
Connect.
Little intercellular material.
Epithelial.
Yeah, very good. Epithelial
Epithelium.
tissue. Let me show you. We know that epithelial tissue lies on basement membrane, and these particular epithelial cells, that between one cell to the other cell, the intercellular matrix is comparatively less. That means cells are having very little space in between them. They are compactly packed. We can say that epithelial tissue cells are having intercellular matrix with very, very less. So what is our answer here? Epithelial tissue. Okay, epithelial tissue. Next, these tissues are most abundant and widely distributed in the body of complex animals. Question number 24. The tissues are most abundant and widely distributed in the body of complex animals.
Connective
Connective
tissue.
tissue.
Very
Connective
connective tissue. Then the cells are compactly packed with little intercellular matrix. The cells are compactly packed with little intercellular matrix. The same again.
Epithelial tissue.
Yeah,
Yeah.
epithelial tissue.
tissue.
Epithelial tissue. In nearly all animal tissues, specialized junctions provide both structural and functional links between its cells, its individual cells. In nearly all animal
Connective
tissues,
tissue.
specialized junctions provide both structural and functional links between its individual cells. In which tissue will have the specialized junctions which provide both structural and functional links? We say that the gap junction,
Epithelial.
we say it has tight junction. Mostly these junctions where you find in epithelial
Epithelial.
tissue. Okay, so the junctions are present in the epithelial tissue. Okay, they range from soft connective tissues to specialized types include cartilage, bone, and adipose and blood. The tissue, which range from soft connective tissues to specialized types It includes the cartilage, bone, and adipose and blood. We have four options: epithelial, connective, muscular, nervous.
Connective.
Connective.
Yeah, so that is connective tissue. Okay. Next, identify the given. Next phase of questions we got here. Identify the given with respect to squamous, cuboidal, columnar epithelia. So examples of squamous, cuboidal, columnar epithelium will come in the series after these. You have to recognize them as squamous, cuboidal, or columnar based on the properties and based on the examples. It is made of a single thin layer of flattened cells with irregular boundaries.
Squamous.
Squam-
Squamous.
Squamous. Please make your surroundings without any noise, or you move out where there is no noise. Next, question number 29. This epithelium is composed of a single layer of tall and slender cells. Very good. Columnar cells. Tall and slender cell. Epithelium is composed of a single layer of cube-like cells.
Cuboidal.
Yes, very good. Cuboidal epithelium. Their free surface may have microvilli. Their free surface may have microvilli. Epithelium is composed of single layer of cube-like cells, he said. Their free surface may have,
Columnar.
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 yeah, columnar. Okay. Next, their function is to move particles or mucus in a specific direction over the epithelium. Their function is to move particles or mucus in a specific direction over the epithelium. A ciliated columnar epithelium. Ciliated columnar epithelium is having this property that it functions as which moves the particles or mucus in a specific direction over the epithelium. Their nuclei are located at the base.
Column.
Squamous, cuboidal, columnar. We have three options.
Columnar epithelium.
Very
Columnar
columnar
epithelium.
epithelium. Okay, they are mainly present in the inner surface of hollow organs like bronchioles and fallopian tubes. Example-based questions are get started here. They are mainly present in the inner surface of hollow organs like bronchioles and fallopian tubes.
Ciliated epithelium.
Ciliated epithelium.
Ciliated columnar epithelium. Ciliated columnar epithelium. Okay, very good. Next, this is commonly found in the tubular part of nephrons in kidney. That means proximal and distal convoluted tubule. Commonly found in the tubular parts of nephrons in the kidney.
Cuboidal.
Simple cuboidal. Simple cuboidal. Okay. They are found in the lining of stomach and intestine and help in secretion and absorption. They are found in the lining of stomach and intestine and help in secretion and absorption. Yes, question number 36. Lining of stomach and intestine and help in secretion and absorption.
Simple non-ciliated column.
Simple non-ciliated columnar epithelium. Very good, very good. Simple non-ciliated columnar epithelium. They are found in the walls of blood vessels. Wall of blood vessel.
Simple squamous epithelium.
Simple squamous epithelium. Wall of blood vessel. Simple squamous epithelium. This is commonly found in ducts of glands. Ducts of glands.
Cuboidal epithelium.
Yes, very good. Cuboidal epithelium. They are found in the air sacs of lungs. Air sacs of lungs.
Simple squamous epithelium.
Simple squamous epithelium. Okay. Next, they are involved in the functions like forming a diffusion boundary. Diffusion boundary. They are,
Squamous.
yes, very good. Squamous epithelium. Its main functions are secretion and absorption.
Cuboidal.
Cuboidal epithelium. Cuboidal epithelium main function as secretion and absorption. Next, some of the columnar or cuboidal cells get specialized for secretion. Wait a minute. Some of the columnar or cuboidal cells get specialized for secretion and are called
Glandular.
glandular epithelium. Such tissues are called glandular epithelium. Okay. On the basis of the mode of pouring of their secretions, glands are divided into two categories, namely
Exocrine and endocrine glands.
Crine.
yes, exocrine and endocrine. Exocrine glands and endocrine glands. Exocrine glands and endocrine glands are what do you say in the basis of mode of pouring of their secretions. The glandular cells in the goblet cells of the alimentary canal are. Here we have two options to say unicellular or multicellular. The glandular cells in the goblet cells of the alimentary canal are. Okay, we'll
Unicellular.
Initial.
put unicellular or multicellular. You'll have the two options to say unicellular or multicellular. So what are they? Unicellular. Next, glandular cells in the salivary glands are. The glandular cells in the salivary glands are. The same again we are talking about. We are asking the same similar kind of question. You have to choose the answer as unicellular or multicellular.
Multicellular.
Yeah,
Multicellular.
very good. These are multicellular. Okay. The two types of glandular epithelium are. The two types of glandular epithelium are. Just what we are talking about. Glandular epithelium is again two types. What do you say? It has unicellular and multicellular. Unicellular and multicellular. Okay, so then question number 47, glandular epithelium, which consists of isolated glandular cells, is called
Unicellular.
unicellular. Very good. Unicellular. Unicellular is what do you say it as? Glandular epithelium, which consists of isolated glandular cells. Glandular epithelium, which consists of clusters of cells.
Multicellular.
Yes, very good. Multicellular. Next, glands secrete mucus, saliva, earwax, oil, milk, digestive enzymes, and other cell products are.
Exocrine.
Yes, what do you say it as? Question number 49. We have two options to say. Exocrine, endocrine. So what is our answer? We call
Exocrine.
exocrine gland. Next, question number 50. Products of endocrine glands is called.
Hormones.
Hormones. Products of endocrine glands is called hormones. Question number 51. Glands which release their products through ducts or tubes are called.
Exocrine.
Yes, what do you say them as? Exocrine glands. Exocrine glands. We call them as exocrine glands. Glands without ducts are called.
Endocrine.
Glands without ducts are called endocrine glands. Okay. Their secretion is hormone. And glands who secrete their products directly into the fluid bathing the gland.
Endocrine.
Endocrine gland.
Endocrine glands. We call them as endocrine glands. Next, dash epithelium is made of more than one layer, multi-layered, we say, of cells and thus has a limited role in dash and dash. We have to fill these blanks. Which epithelium is made of more than one layer of cells and has a limited role in two activities. That two blanks.
Compound epithelium.
Compound
Yeah,
epithelium.
very good. Compound epithelium, and it has limited role in
Secretion and absorption.
yeah, secretion and absorption, because we said compound epithelium is for protection. Okay, compound epithelium which covers the dry surface of skin. Compound epithelium which cover the dry surface of skin. Stratified, squamous, keratinized epithelium. Stratified, squamous, keratinized epithelium, we can say. Next, question number 56. Compound epithelium which lines moist surface of buccal cavity, pharynx. Compound epithelium which lines moist surface of buccal cavity and pharynx.
Stratified squamous non-keratinized.
Very good. Stratified, squamous,
Epithelium.
stratified, squamous, non-keratinized. Non-keratinized epithelium is non-keratinized epithelium, we can say. Buccal cavity, lining of buccal cavity and pharynx. Okay, next, the question number 57. Compound epithelium which forms the inner lining of ducts of salivary glands and of pancreatic ducts.
Stratified cuboidal epithelium.
Very good. Stratified cuboidal epithelium. Stratified cuboidal epithelium. The compound epithelium which form the inner lining of ducts of salivary glands and of pancreatic ducts. Next, the types of cells, junctions are found in the epithelium and other tissues. These are called, what do you call these junctions? What are the names of junctions and how many types of junctions are there? We have
Three junctions.
three
Three.
types of junctions. Okay, what are the three types of junctions?
Tight.
junction.
Tight junctions,
Gap junction.
adhering
Adhering.
junctions, adhering junction,
Gap junction.
and gap junction. Tight junctions, adhering junctions, and gap junctions. Very good. Okay, now moving on. Question number 59. Junctions help to stop substances from leaking across a tissue.
Tight.
Tight junction.
Okay, everybody? Tight junction.
Tight junction.
Tight junctions. Very good. Next, junctions which allow the rapid transfer of ions, small molecules, and sometimes big molecules also.
Gap junction.
Gap junction.
Gap junctions. Gap junctions. Okay. Junctions which perform cementing to keep neighboring cells together.
Adhering junction.
Yes, what do you call such kind of junctions? As adhering junctions. Adhering junctions. Okay. Next, junctions which facilitate the cells to communicate with each other by connecting cytoplasm of adjoining cells.
Gap junction.
Gap junction.
Yes, which junctions? Gap junctions. Very good. They are named as tissues because of their special function like linking and supporting other tissues or organs of the body. Named of what? Because that particular tissue, we have four options to say: epithelial, connective, muscular, and nervous. Which tissue is named as such name is given because of their special function of linking and supporting other tissues or organs of the body?
Connective tissue.
Very
Epithelial.
connective tissue. Okay. Next, question number 64. In all connective tissues except what? The cells secrete fibers of structural proteins called, what are the proteins? We are asking. Should fill the blanks. In all connective tissues except I'll fill blood. Okay. That the cells secrete fibers of structural protein. We have two types of fibers in a connective tissue except blood. What are the two types of fibers? Collagen fiber and elastin fiber. Collagen and elastin fiber. The fibers which provide strength, elasticity, and flexibility to the tissue are
Collagen and elastin.
yes, whom we are talking strength, elasticity, flexibility. Okay, so that means as commonly asked over collagen and elastin fibers. Cells which secrete fibers. Cells which secrete fibers. What do you call them as? Fibroblast cells. A fibroblast cell. The connective tissue cells secrete modified polysaccharides which accumulate between the cells and fibers and act as connective tissue cells secrete modified polysaccharides. Matrix. What do you say? Ground substance. Matrix or ground substance. Okay, so here you just remember it as just I am following through the NCERT text sentences. By the end of that this particular questionnaire, we'll complete the total NCERT textbook reading. Okay, so that's why I request you people need to go with the NCERT textbook. Connective tissues are classified into three types. Three types of connective tissues we are asking about. Number one, loose connective tissue. Number two, should fill the blank.
Dense connective tissue.
Dense connective tissue. Number three,
Specialized.
Specialized.
specialized connective tissue. Okay, specialized connective tissue. Loose connective tissue, dense connective tissue, and specialized connective tissue. Next, the connective tissue which has cells and fibers loosely arranged in a semi-fluid ground substance is called.
Loose connective tissue.
Loose
Yeah.
connective.
What is that? Loose connective tissue. Okay, loose connective tissue. What do you say? The connective tissue which has cells and fibers loosely arranged in a semi-fluid ground substance, which we call that connective tissue as loose connective tissue. Fibers and fibroblasts are compactly packed in this connective tissue. Yeah, we got actually by mistake, we got the answer here. No problem. What is that? Dense connective tissue. Dense connective tissue. Loose connective tissue beneath the skin.
Areolar connective tissue.
Very good. You just see the variation in the text here. That the loose connective tissue beneath the skin, they are given as areolar connective tissue. Loose connective tissue located mainly beneath the skin. This is adipose tissue. Just see the variation. Adipose tissue, both are present beneath the skin, no matter. But that how based on the NCERT sentences, you have to recognize them mainly beneath the skin, because this particular adipose tissue mostly present beneath the skin only. Fat where it is present means below the skin in certain areas of the body. almost all, but in certain areas more concentratively located. But adipose tissue, direct address is like that only. Areolar connective tissue present between the all internal organ. Below the skin it starts, present between the kidney and pancreas, liver and intestine. That means all the gaps are filled with areolar connective tissue. Okay. Okay, 72. Question number 72. Dense connective tissue in the skin. Dense connective tissue in the skin. Maybe it is difficult without options selecting an answer, but it makes us to get strengthened over when you are going with a multiple choice. Okay, I'll give the options: dense regular and dense irregular.
Irregular.
Dense irregular connective tissue present below beneath the skin. Tendon connects. Tendon connects.
Bone to bone.
Yeah.
Muscle to bone.
Skeletal muscles to the bone. Tendon connects skeletal muscles to the bone. 74. That ligaments connect.
Bone to bone.
Bone to bone. Very good. Next, question number 75. The orientation of the fiber show a regular pattern in this type of connective tissue. Orientation of fibers in regular pattern. That means fibers are arranged in regular pattern.
Dense connective tissue.
Dense
So
regular.
we have two options to ask: dense regular and dense irregular.
Dense irregular.
Dense regular.
Regular.
Arranged in regular pattern. Okay, the cells of this tissue are enclosed in a small cavities within the matrix secreted by them. Cells of this tissue, particularly I am asking about the chondrocyte. Cells of this tissue, that means chondrocytes, are enclosed in the small cavities within the matrix located by them. Small cavities called lacunae, but asking about the tissue. Which tissue? If you want options, I'll give it to you. Cartilage or bone?
Cartilage.
Cartilage.
Yeah, cartilage. Next, loose connective tissue which serves as a support framework for epithelium. Loose connective tissue which serves as a support framework for epithelium. Okay, I'll go with this. Areolar connective tissue, we say support framework for epithelium. Tissue which support and protect the softer tissues and organs. Tissue which support and protect the softer tissues and organs in the human body. Okay. Bone. 79. Orientation of the fibers in irregular pattern in this dense connective tissue. Orientation of the fibers in irregular pattern. Earlier we asked regular pattern. Now we are asking about irregular pattern.
Dense irregular.
Dense irregular connect.
Yeah, dense irregular connective tissue. Dense irregular connective tissue. The cells of this tissue are specialized to store fats. Question number 80.
Adipose tissue.
Yeah, adipose tissue. Collagen fibers are present in rows between many parallel bundles of fibers in this dense connective tissue. Collagen fibers are present in rows between many parallel bundles of fibers in this dense connective tissue.
Regular connective.
Dense regular connective tissue.
Dense regular connective tissue. Okay, then question number 82. Loose connective tissue. Loose connective tissue which contain fibroblasts, macrophages, and mast cells.
Areolar tissue.
Yes, who is that? Areolar connective tissue. Areolar connective tissue. Connective tissue in the tip of nose, outer ear joints between adjacent bones of the vertebral column, limbs and hands in adults.
Cartilage.
Cartilage.
Yeah, cartilage. It
Cartilage.
was given as collective in NCRT textbook here, cartilage. And cartilage, which is belongs to specialized connective tissue, we use it to say it as. Then if you go individually, we may say like the connective tissue at the tip of nose is hyaline
Hyaline
cartilage.
cartilage.
Very good. Outer ear joints, outer ear, external ear pinna in our language. Outer ear pinna is with elastic cartilage between the adjacent bones of the vertebral column, intervertebral discs we can say. So which cartilage? Fibrous cartilage. Okay, at least you have to recognize it as all these are belongs to cartilage itself. Okay, most of the cartilages in vertebrate embryos are replaced by what in adults?
Bones.
Bones. Bones. Okay, very good. Yes, next. Cartilage, bone, and blood are belongs to this type of connective tissue.
Specialized connect.
Yeah, that we need to recognize. It as specialized connective tissue. Cartilage, bone, and blood are considered as specialized connective tissue. 86. Areolar and adipose connective tissue are belongs to this type of connective tissue.
Loose
Loose
connective tissue.
Yeah, loose connective tissue. Okay, 86. Loose connective tissue. They also interact with skeletal muscles attached to them to bring about movements. They means, what is the meaning of this day?
Bone.
Yes, very good. Bone. Dense connective tissue in tendons and ligaments.
Dense regular connective tissue.
Dense, regular connective tissue. Dense connective tissue in tendons and ligaments. Dense, regular connective tissue. Okay, then it is the main tissue that provide structural frame to the body. The tissue
Bone.
Bone.
which provide structural frame to the body. Okay, very good. Bone. Then the excess of nutrients which are not used immediately are converted into fats and stored in this tissue. The excess of nutrients which are not used immediately are converted into fats and stored in this
Adipose
tissue.
tissue.
Very good. Adipose tissue. We call it as white fat. Dense connective tissue which has fibroblast and many fibers, mostly collagen, that are oriented differently. Dense connective tissue which has fibroblast and many fibers, mostly collagen fiber that
Dense
are
irregular connective tissue.
Dense irregular.
very good. Dense irregular connective tissue. Next, 92. The intercellular material of what is solid and pliable and resist compression.
Cartilage.
The intercellular material, solid, pliable, resist compression. Should recognize that particular tissue based on that given property, that has cartilage. Very good. Hard, non-pliable ground substance rich in calcium salts and collagen fibers is present in
Bone. Bone.
Bone.
bone. Very good. I want that speed. Okay, the dash is a fluid connective tissue containing plasma, red blood cells, white blood cells, and platelets.
Blood.
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 Blood. Each dash is made of many long cylindrical fibers arranged in parallel array.
Muscle tissue.
Yes?
Muscle tissue.
Muscle. Muscle. Very good. The bone cells which are present in the spaces called lacunae are lacunae of cartilage contain chondrocytes. Now asking about the lacunae, empty spaces called lacunae. Lacunae of bone in the Haversian systems contain which cells?
Osteocytes.
Yes, osteocytes in active form. When they become active, we call osteoblast cells. Okay, 97. In general, Dash play an active role in all the movements of body. Who plays active role in the movements of the body? Muscles play active roles in all the movements of the body. Cells in the matrix of cartilage are called. Cells in the matrix of the cartilage are called. Cells in the matrix of bone we call osteocytes, isn't it? Now, what do you call in the cartilage?
Chondrocyte.
Chondrocyte.
Chondrocytes. The cells in the matrix of the cartilage are called chondrocytes. Next, muscle fibers are composed of numerous muscle fibers which are composed of numerous fine fibrils. What do you call that fibrils?
Myofibrils.
Myofibrils.
Very good. Myofibrils. Each organ in our body is made of one or more types of tissues. Is it true or false?
True.
Each organ made of one or more types of tissue. True.
True.
That
4
means,
types.
yeah, very good. Heart. If you take heart is made of. Heart is made up of cardiac muscle.
Cardiac.
But pericardium of the heart, pericardial parietal peritoneum and pericardial visceral peritoneum of the heart is made of simple squamous. Then inside you will find the walls, tricuspid and bicuspid wall. That walls are made up of irregular dense fibrous connective tissue, and blood vessels contain muscles. In the wall of the heart itself, cardiac muscles are present. In the blood vessels, smooth muscles are present. Likewise, don't that only not heart, every organ is made up of various types of tissue. Moving on, the dash in some bones is a site of production of blood cells.
Bone marrow.
Bone marrow.
Bone marrow, particularly if I ask you which bone marrow, red bone marrow or yellow bone marrow?
Red bone.
Red bone marrow, red bone marrow. Okay, muscle fibers dash in response to stimulation and then dash and return to their uncontracted state in a coordinated fashion.
Contract, shorten, relax,
Tract.
lengthen.
Very good. When they shorten, when they become contract, and when they lengthen, when they relax.
Relax.
Do remember, there is no expansion in the muscles, only contraction and relaxation. Three types of muscles are, the three types of muscles are
Skeletal, smooth,
Skeletal,
cardiac.
smooth, cardiac.
Cardiac.
skeletal, smooth, cardiac. Okay, their function moves the body to adjust the changes in the environment and to maintain positions of the various parts of the body. Their, meaning, question is there itself. Their
Muscle
action.
tissue.
Hmm?
Muscle
Their-
tissue.
Yes, very good. Muscle tissue. Bones have a dash ground substance rich in calcium, salts, and collagen fiber, which give bone its strength.
Hard and
Then
non.
Yeah, hard and non-pliable.
non-pliable.
Hard and non-pliable. Then what is the main circulating fluid that helps in the transport
Blood.
of various substances?
Blood.
Is that
Blood.
Blood.
blood? Okay, very good. Next, limb bones such as the dash of the legs serve weight-bearing function. Limb bones such as what? Here, we should fill the blank here. They are long bones.
Long
Sir.
Long bone.
Long
They are
bones.
long bones. We have four types of bone: long bone, short bone, flat bone, irregular bone. Limb bones are long bones. Okay, dash muscle tissue is closely attached to skeletal bone.
Skeletal muscle tissue.
Skeletal muscle. Okay, next. We usually are not able to make it contract merely by thinking about it as we can do with skeletal muscle. The statement is apt for this muscle tissue. We have three types of muscle, isn't it? We usually are not able to make it contract merely by thinking about it as we can do with skeletal muscle. This statement is apt for this muscle tissue. Simply, I am asking who is involuntary muscles out of the three: skeletal, smooth, and cardiac.
Skeleton.
Smooth and cardiac muscles are called involuntary muscle. Only muscles which can move voluntarily are skeletal muscles. Okay, if muscle fibers taper at both ends, it can be considered as taper at both ends, it can be
Smooth
considered as
muscle.
fusiform. Okay, we can say it as fusiform. Muscles in biceps are skeletal muscles. Muscles in biceps and triceps, they have skeletal muscles. Okay. The wall of internal organs such as the blood vessel, stomach, and intestine contain this type of muscle tissue. The wall of
Smooth muscle.
internal organs. Okay.
Muscle.
Smooth muscle.
Smooth muscles. Very good. Smooth muscles. Next, question number 112. The muscle tissue which is a contractile.
Cardiac muscle.
Cardiac.
Yeah, cardiac muscles. The muscle tissue which is contractile tissue present only in the heart is cardiac. Units of neural system are
Neuron.
neurons. Units of neural system are neuron. Type of muscle tissue which do not show striations.
Smooth
Very
muscle.
good. Smooth muscle. Both skeletal and cardiac muscles are showing striations because the arrangement of thin and thick filaments in regular manner in them. Okay. Then next, communication junctions at some fusion points allow the cells to
Cardiac.
contract. Okay, let me complete. The contract as a unit, when one cell receives a signal to contract, its neighbors are also stimulated to contract. This type of tissue with this feature, is it?
Cardiac.
Muscle.
Cardiac.
What do you name them as? This kind of feature, this kind of junction, what do you call it?
Intercalated discs.
Yeah, very good. These are called intercalated discs. The connection between one cardiac muscle to the another cardiac muscle makes intercalated disc, which is must here the transfer of calcium ions. That is for the contraction of the muscles from one place. That means the transfer of the muscles. If you remember, we'll say like this. It starts from sinoatrial node, then it goes to the AV node, and from there it will go to the bundle of His, and then Purkinje fibers. From the Purkinje fibers to one cardiac muscle to the other cardiac muscle, the muscle contraction of the heart is transferred because of intercalated disc. This is the complete story which we learn in body fluid circulation. Okay, next. The communication junctions cardiac of okay, we have one more question here. Muscles which are involuntary, as their functioning cannot be directly controlled.
Smooth muscle.
Muscle.
Yeah, I'm asking again, involuntary.
Smooth
Smooth
cardiac.
and cardiac. Only
Yeah.
muscles which can we move in the body are skeletal muscle. Or simply we say whatever you are moving, that is skeletal muscle. You can move your hands, you can move your legs. You can't stop your heartbeat because they're involuntary. You can't make your elementary canal, food to move from stomach to intestine. Itself it happens. Peristaltic movements we use it to say. Okay, question number 117. Communication junctions, cardiac muscle fibers are called as.
Intercalated disc.
Yeah,
Intercalated disc.
communication junctions of cardiac muscle fibers are called as intercalated discs. We say them as intercalated discs. Very good. Next, types of muscle tissue, which muscles are bundled together in a parallel
Skeletal.
fashion.
Skeletal muscle.
Skeletal muscle. Very good. Skeletal muscle. Okay, tissue with excitable cells.
Neural tissue.
Very good. Neural tissue. Actually, I made a little mix-up combination of both muscular and nervous tissue questions. Will mix up like that. Okay, types of muscle tissue which muscle fiber taper at both ends.
Smooth muscle.
Smooth muscle.
Smooth muscle fiber taper at both ends. The characteristic feature of smooth muscle fibers to be remembered. The tissue which exerts the greatest control over the body's responsiveness to changing conditions.
Nervous tissue.
Neural tissue.
Neural tissue.
Tissue.
The tissue which exerts the greatest control over the body's responsiveness to changing condition. Who is that?
Neural tissue.
Neural tissue.
Neural tissue. Very good. Neural tissue. Types of muscle tissue, which a sheath of tough connective tissue encloses several bundles of muscle fibers.
Skeletal muscle.
Hmm?
Skeletal.
Types of muscle tissue, which a sheath of tough connective tissue encloses several bundles of muscle fiber. Who is that?
Skeletal.
Skeletal
Skeletal.
muscle.
What's that sheath named as?
Skeleton.
No, I'm asking about the sheath, which we learned in the locomotion movement chapter. The sheath is named as all the skeletal muscles, which are arranged in the form of bundles. So just remembering that particular diagram. So muscle fibers are arranged in the form of parallel bundles in the skeletal muscle fiber. I'm asking, what is this? Epimysium. Each fascicle surrounded by perimysium.
Perimysium.
Individual muscle fiber surrounded by endomysium. So that's what we learned there in the skeletal muscle. Okay, that the cell which constitute the rest of the neural system protect and support neuron. Which cells of the neural tissue is doing like so?
Neuron.
Supporting the rest of the neural tissue. Neurons are itself.
Neuron.
Yeah, neurons itself supported by them. I'm asking. Which cells? Along with the neurons, there some additional cells are present, which they are supporting the neurons also.
Neuroglial.
Neuroglial.
Glial cell.
Very good. Neuroglial cells. Type of muscle tissue which cell junctions hold them together and they are bundled together in a connective tissue sheath.
Smooth muscle.
Yeah, very good. Smooth muscle tissue. If you are able to recognize by looking toward the properties and characteristic features, that's over your preparation. 125 types of muscle tissue, cell junctions. Type of muscle tissue, cell junctions fuse the plasma membrane of the muscle and cells and make them stick together.
Cardiac muscle.
Cardiac muscles. Are you sure?
Yes, sir. Cardiac muscle.
Cardiac muscle tissue. Let me read. Type of muscle tissue, cell junction, fuse the plasma membranes of the muscle cell and make them stick together. Again, what are the junctions? The junctions are called gap junctions and they are called intercalated discs. A dash make up more than one half of the volume of the neural tissue in our body. Very important question. That means previously asked. Dash make up more than one half of the volume of the neural tissue in our body. Neuroglial cells, we can say neuroglial cells. When a neuron is suitably stimulated, an electrical disturbance is generated, which swiftly travel along its,
Plasma membrane.
yes, plasma membrane. Along its, do you have any special name for that plasma membrane? Do you know that? When a neuron is suitably stimulated, electrical disturbance is generated, which swiftly travels along. I am asking, is there any special name for that plasma membrane which is traveling like this? What is the name of that plasma membrane? Just asking question from neural control and coordination chapter. This chapter is related to that human physiology, isn't it? Axolemma, we call it as. Arrival of the disturbance at the neurons endings or dash zone triggers events that may cause, should fill the blanks of adjacent neurons and other cells. Write the statement and try to fill the gap.
Output zone.
Output zone, very good. Arrival of
Stimulation
the
or inhibition.
triggers events that may cause
Stimulation or inhibition.
stimulation or inhibition. And inhibition. So now let me read the total. Arrival of the disturbance at the neuron endings or output zone triggers events that may cause stimulation or inhibition of the adjacent neurons. So where it is happening? I just make you to remember. We learned this in neural control and coordination. Not we learned here. We are talking about synapse. Okay. We are talking about synapse. What we said, stimulation or inhibition. We have special names. We made them like EPSP and IPSP. Excitatory postsynaptic potential and inhibitory postsynaptic potential. We use it to say. Okay, so the basic tissues like epithelial, connective, muscular, neural, well organized to form what? Which in turn associated to form, should fill the gap in the multicellular organisms.
Organ
Organs and
Or system.
organ system.
system.
Okay, such an organization is essential for more efficient and better coordinated activities of millions of cells constituting an organism. Such an organization is called. What do you call it as? Organ system. Tissues in heart are, just for example, epithelial, connective, muscular, nervous.
Connective.
Huh?
Muscular.
All four types are present. Now only I said to you. All four types are present. Heart is surrounded by pericardial parietal peritoneum, pericardial visceral peritoneum. What is that? That is simple squamous epithelium. And inner lining of endothelium of blood vessel, we said that is simple squamous, means epithelial tissue is there. And heart wall of the heart, myocardium of the heart contain cardiac muscles, isn't it? So what is that made up of? Cardiac muscle, muscular tissue. Okay. Next, we said the tricuspid and bicuspid walls, they are made up of irregular dense connective tissue. So in that way, connective tissue is there, and it is filled with blood, isn't it? That blood, that is a specialized connective tissue. Okay. So what about nervous tissue? We have the innervations of the sympathetic and parasympathetic, isn't it? Somatic nervous system is innervated. We definitely will have the innervation of the nervous system. Okay. They are working their own style. So the pacemaker is there. But the innervation of the nervous system is there. That medulla oblongata you might have learned over in your earlier classes. 10th nerve, vagus nerve, we use it to say, the cranial nerve, is sending nerves to the heart. Okay, so somatic nervous system is there, sympathetic is there, parasympathetic is there. So finally, what you can say, heart contain all types of tissues, epithelial, connective, muscular, nervous. Okay, complexity of an organ and organ system displays certain discernible trend. This discernible trend is called, what do you say it as?
Evolutionary.
Yes, evolutionary trend. Okay, evolutionary trend. Morphology and anatomy of three organisms like earthworm, cockroach, and frog are at different evolutionary levels in their organization and functioning. What do you say it as? True or false? Yeah, it's true. Morphology and anatomy of three organisms, earthworm, cockroach, and frog, at different evolutionary levels in their organization and functioning. That means for that model only we are taken it actually. In the case of plants or microbes, the term morphology precisely means study of form or externally visible features. Okay, in case of animals, morphology refers to, that means there is a different meaning for the morphology in both plants and animals. Let me see. External appearance of the organs or parts of the body. Morphology means in the plant, study of form or externally visible feature. Morphology in meaning to animals, external appearance of the organs or parts of the body. Okay. Then finally, why I say finally? Okay, let me complete. The word dash conventionally used for the study of morphology of internal organs is called
Anatomy.
Anatomy.
anatomy. So that we are going to end up here. That we'll make it as a part 2. That where we go with the earthworm, cockroach, and frog questions. These questions are little different because earthworm, cockroach, frog we are learning in the form of a comparative study, that a basic animal from invertebrates and their development in the invertebrates itself. Cockroach is little far developed than earthworm, and then after a model animal from the vertebrates, a frog we are taken. So that's why comparative study is very important. So, and by looking towards the characteristic features, we should recognize that particular animal as earthworm, cockroach, or frog. Okay, so mix up questions here. We don't have a in linear order of NCRT. Yes, definitely every sentence, every word is from NCRT textbook only. No doubt about that. Sentence framing is based on NCRT we did. That means the maximum I tried over not to change the NCRT question framing, because we should have touch with NCRT sentences. We made it in that particular manner. Okay, so just read earthworm, cockroach, and frog and get ready for answering questions of the earthworm and cockroach and frog. Okay, it's not much more questions we have. Just total chapter, bigger chapter we use it to say is having only 508 questions. Okay, only 508 questions. Earthworm, cockroach, frog, along with the histology, total chapter. Structural organization in animals is just having. So up to histology, we are completed up to 136. So be prepare well and get ready for answering these particular questions of earthworm, cockroach, and